Hi, we are going to put a pontoon hoist together, a CraftLander Pontoon Hoist. This pontoon hoist is 22 feet long. There's 4 stands to it. We have a side panel here, a side panel there. I've got them kind of laid out where they go. The rear stand has a V in it like that there. The stands are offset a little bit. We usually put the longer distance here at the bottom of the stand. It's a little bit shorter on top there. We'll put the longer gap there. And you could mix it up, it's not real important. We have, this kind of keeps the 2 side panels separated. Spreader we call it. We've got the wheel, we've got pulleys, which came in the box here. In the box we've got the manual, we've got the winch in the white box. These are telescoping inserts that go in the stand to adjust the height of your the pontoon rails. The bolts, which what we'll do is separate them, get them in order. These are some bolt covers to help protect your pontoon. This here, you put your wheel together with this here. We'll be getting to that here shortly. The cable for the winch, and then we have the 2 22-foot rails that the boat will be sitting on. So I think first of all, what we'll do is get the bolt package broken out and get them separated in order. Alright, we've got the bolt package broken open, and we've got things kind of organized in similar sizes, washers, nuts, the bolts. It's going to make it a little bit simpler to put together. I took the winch out of the box. There's a winch, there's a little bag here. We don't use the spring in the bag, and we don't use that spacer, but we'll get into that a little bit better later. Got the manual for the winch here. Some stops for the pontoon so it only goes so far forward. The inserts, telescoping inserts. The wheel assembly kit. I've also got some wrenches out here, and what you're going to need is a 3/4 wrench, 9/16 wrench, a 1/2 inch wrench, and a 7/16 wrench, and pipe wrench or a large wrench. There's one large nut that has to be tightened up. So this kind of a standard tool setup should do it. And I think next we'll start putting the side panels together and getting it going. Okay, I have taken the spreader, I call it, and bolted it between the 2 uprights. And I know that I'm going to put the wheel on this side of the hoist. It can be put on either side. So I put the stand with the side panel with the stickers and the serial number on the wheel side, so you can see it from the wheel. If you need stickers, contact the company. We can get you new stickers if they're put on the wrong side of the hoist. This is a 1/2 by 3 bolt up here. We put a washer on the outside, and on the inside we just have a nut. We don't need a washer on the inside because we have a heavier plate that we're bolting it to. So we got 1/2 by 3s on this side. I've got a 1/2 by 3 on the bottom. Then I got a 1/2 by 3.5, or that is actually a 3.5, 1/2 by 3.5 on top. And the reason why I have a longer bolt on top, later on I'm going to put a hook cable to this, and it'll go down into some pulleys and back up to the wheel side. So once you have this up here, it enables you to start putting stuff together. So I'm going to start at the bottom here. And what I have is a 1/2 by 5.5 inch bolt, and we're going to put it through the side panel, and then we'll have a washer in between the side panel and the stand. The washer is just a spacer. And then there's a lock nut that we use down here. And the reason why we use a lock nut, we're not going to tighten it up all the way. We're going to leave it so this leg can hinge freely back and forth. Because if it's too tight, it won't hinge. So you're going to want to tighten this up to the point where there's just, maybe you can see a little slight daylight through the by the washer there. And we're going to want to do that on all the stands on the bottom. And then after we do that, we'll work on the top of the stands. But we can go ahead and start that and bolt all the rear stands now. We've got the the bolts through on the lower stands, and we've got the lock nut there, and we've got the washer in between, and we've got it. We didn't tighten it up so tight it won't move, so right now it freely hinges back and forth. We did that on all 4 stands on this lift. The next thing to do would be able to put the telescoping inserts in the stand, in the upper portion of the stand, and we've got 3 settings here. For most times, the lowest setting, which would be this one, is where you can install it. If you're in deep water, you could adjust it another 6 inches or all the way up to this point. All the way up would be like that, and then down where in shallower water you'd have it set to the lowest setting. Now we use a 1/2 by 3.5 inch bolt, and then we have a bolt head protector, I call it. This will help protect your boat against the bolt. There's a small 1/2 inch washer. It's an undersized 1/2 inch washer, so it fits inside here. So we use that on the outside. We go through the stand and through the telescoping arm. And we put just a regular 1/2 inch nut on the back side. And you can do that on all the stands. Make sure that this height is the same on them all. You can't have this one set at the low setting and the rear one set at the high setting. It won't work. All these have to be set at the same point. Either all the way down, up 6 inches, or up another 6 inches. But they all have to be set the same. So we've got all those bolted in right now. We've got the stands laying flat. And the next thing we want to do is to bolt our stop blocks in here. And what these stop blocks do is prevent the hoist from going all the way forward. If it goes too far forward, it won't come back. So this keeps it, like a little bit, not all the way 90. It's off by like 5 degrees or so. So we use a 3/8 by 4 with a serrated nut on the back side. We'll put a cap in there eventually. And once you have that in there, what we can do is tie off this stand with a strap. This is how I normally do it. You can use a rope. You can actually even use a C-clamp between these 2 members. But what we want to do is to get this stand so it's staying upright. So I'm going to use the strap, wrap it around here. I've got the strap all the way on there now, and I'm just going to tighten it up a little bit. I find this to be a pretty easy way to do it. We've got straps available, but you can just rope or anything, and that's just the way I do it. The main thing is you want to support this upper stand. And once we have the upper stand on, we'll be able to put the rail on, and that's the next step we'll show you here. We've got the stand tied off here, the front one, and what we did was I set the rail, the front of the rail, which has a wider plate on the front. The back of the rail has a roller on the other end. So it's kind of hard to get it mixed up. But anyways, there's a 1/2 by 3.5 inch bolt that goes through the plates and through the telescoping arm, like that. I've already got this one set, and again we've got the plastic bolt head cover to help protect your boat. And again, these will not, you won't want to tighten these up all the way. You're just going to want to tighten up so it's a little snug, but this has to hinge back and forth for the lift to work properly. So I'll go ahead and put this one on here. Again, it's a 1/2 by 3.5 inch bolt. And you can do it on all the stands. There. These lower bolts, you can tighten those up that hold the telescoping arm in there. These here, though, you want to leave just a tad loose. So go ahead and tighten up all those bolts, but still let the carriage move back and forth. And next thing we'll go on to is installing the winch on the boat lift.